Your credit card may say it covers rental cars, but in Europe, that one sentence can be dangerously incomplete. And this is where a lot of tourists make an expensive mistake before they even drive out of the parking lot. They book a cheap rental car online, they feel smart because the daily price looks low, and they assume their credit card will protect them if anything happens. Then they arrive at the rental counter, tired from the flight, with people waiting behind them, and the agent starts asking about insurance, collision damage waiver, theft protection, excess, deductible, deposit, roadside assistance, and suddenly the cheap car does not feel cheap anymore. And here's the part that catches people. The question is not just, does my credit card cover rental cars? The better question is, does my credit card cover this rental car in this country for this type of damage, for this rental period, under this exact booking, if I decline the rental company's coverage correctly? That is the difference between having real protection and just hoping a benefits brochure saves you later. So if you are planning to rent a car in Europe, do not wait until the counter to figure this out. Rental car insurance in Europe can be confusing because the words sound familiar, but the rules are not always the same as what travelers expect at home. You may see terms like CDW, theft protection, excess, deductible, zero excess, super CDW, full protection, basic coverage, premium protection, liability insurance, and roadside assistance. And the rental company may present these options quickly because they deal with this every day, while you might be hearing the terms for the first time after a long flight. That is a bad moment to make a money decision. The first thing to understand is CDW, or collision damage waiver. In many European rentals, some form of collision damage waiver may already be included, but included does not always mean free from risk. It may reduce your responsibility, but it may still leave you with an excess, which is the amount you could be responsible for if the car is damaged or stolen. That excess can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the country, car type, and company. This is the part tourists miss. They see insurance included and think, great, I am fully covered. But then the rental agreement says there is still a large excess. So if the car gets scratched, dented, hit, stolen, or damaged in a parking lot, you may still be responsible up to that amount. Now, your credit card may offer rental car coverage that can help with that risk, but the details matter. Some credit cards provide primary coverage, some provide secondary coverage, some only cover certain countries, some exclude certain vehicle types, some limit the number of rental days, and some require you to decline the rental company's collision coverage for the credit card benefit to apply. If you accept the rental company's full collision damage waiver, your credit card coverage may not apply the way you expect. If you pay with the wrong card, it may not apply. If the rental is too long, it may not apply. If the car is a luxury vehicle, van, motorcycle, camper, or specialty vehicle, it may not apply. If you drive into another country without permission, it may not apply. If you go off-road, violate the rental agreement, let an unauthorized driver use the car, or fail to report damage properly, it may not apply. This is why I call it the credit card trap. The trap is not that credit cards are useless. A good travel credit card can be very valuable. The trap is assuming rental car coverage means everything is covered everywhere with no conditions. That is not how it works. And in Europe, those conditions matter because rental car counters can be aggressive, deposits can be high, roads can be narrow, parking spaces can be tight, and damage disputes can be stressful. A tiny scratch on a bumper, a small dent on a door, a chip in the windshield, a damaged tire, a scraped wheel, or a missing mirror can turn into a charge you were not expecting. Some credit card coverage may not include tires, wheels, glass, roof, undercarriage, keys, interior damage, roadside assistance, or loss of use. Some policies may cover some of those things, some may not. You have to check before the trip. Do not guess. Guessing is what makes this expensive. Here is the simple rule. Before you rent a car in Europe, call your credit card company or check the official benefits guide and ask very specific questions. Do not just ask, do I have rental car insurance? Ask, is the coverage primary or secondary? Is this country covered? Is this vehicle type covered? What is the maximum rental length? Do I need to decline the rental company's CDW? Does it cover theft? Does it cover damage to tires, wheels, windshield, roof, and undercarriage? Does it cover loss of use or admin fees? What documents do I need if I file a claim? Can I get a coverage letter before the trip? That last question is important. A coverage letter can help at the rental counter because some rental companies may want proof that your credit card provides coverage if you decline their protection. This does not guarantee everything will be easy, but it gives you more control. Now, let's talk about the rental counter moment, because this is where many travelers get pressured. The agent may say, "Your credit card will not cover this." They may say, "If you decline our insurance, we will place a huge hold on your card." They may say, "If anything happens, you will pay immediately and deal with your credit card later." And some of that may be true. If you decline the rental company's protection, the company may place a larger deposit or pre-authorization on your credit card. That does not mean you are being scammed. They are protecting themselves because they may charge you first if damage happens, and then you may have to file a claim with your credit card benefit afterward. This is another thing tourists misunderstand. Credit card rental coverage does not always stop the rental company from charging your card. Often, it means you may be reimbursed later if the claim qualifies. That is a very different experience. You still need enough available credit for the deposit and possible charges. This is why you should not rent a car in Europe with a card that has a tiny credit limit or almost no available credit. If the company needs to place a hold and your card does not have enough room, you can get stuck at the counter. And please, do not rely on a debit card for this if you can avoid it. A debit card hold can tie up your real cash, and rental companies may have stricter rules for debit cards. Use a credit card for the rental car, ideally the same credit card that provides the rental coverage, and make sure the name on the card matches the primary driver. Now, should you always decline the rental company's insurance and rely on your credit card? Not always. This is where people want a simple answer, but the smart answer depends on your risk tolerance, your card benefits, the country, the roads, the rental company, and your trip budget. If your credit card has strong primary coverage, you have a coverage letter, the country is covered, the vehicle is eligible, your credit limit is high enough, and you are comfortable handling a claim later, then declining extra coverage may save money. But if your card coverage is weak, unclear, secondary, excluded in that country, or missing important damage categories, then buying rental company coverage or a separate rental car insurance policy may be worth it. Also, if you are driving in a place with very narrow roads, old city centers, mountain routes, stone walls, tight garages, or unfamiliar manual transmissions, paying extra to reduce the excess may give you peace of mind. Saving money is good, but saving $50 and risking a $1,000 headache is not always smart. Another common mistake is buying full protection from a third-party booking website and assuming the rental counter will treat it like the rental company's own insurance. Sometimes third-party protection can be useful, but the rental company may still place a deposit, may still charge you for damage, and you may still need to file a claim with the third-party insurer afterward. The counter agent may also keep trying to sell you their coverage, because your third-party policy is not the same as buying directly from them. So read what you are buying. Is it real coverage? Is it reimbursement? What is excluded? Who handles the claim? What documents are required? Does it cover tires, glass, roof, undercarriage, keys, towing, admin fees, or loss of use? If you cannot answer those questions, you do not really understand the coverage yet. Now let's talk about one of the biggest practical tips. Document the car like your wallet depends on it, because it might. Before you drive away, take a slow video of the entire car. Start with the license plate, then walk around every side. Film the front bumper, back bumper, doors, mirrors, wheels, tires, windshield, roof, lights, interior, dashboard, fuel level, mileage, and any existing scratches or dents. Take close-up photos of damage. Make sure existing damage is marked on the rental agreement before you leave. Do not let the agent rush you past this step. If it is dark, use your phone light. If it is raining, still record. If you are in a parking garage, still record. This 5-minute habit can save you from a damage dispute later. Do the same when you return the car. Take a return video, show the car's condition, fuel level, mileage, parking location, and time. If an employee checks the car, ask for written confirmation that the car was returned without new damage. If there is a Dropbox return after hours, your video becomes even more important because nobody is standing there to confirm the condition with you. Another mistake is ignoring fuel policies. A rental car can be cheap until the fuel policy gets you. Full to full is usually the cleanest option. You pick up the car full and return it full. Keep the fuel receipt. Take a photo of the fuel gauge. If you return the car without filling it according to the policy, the rental company may charge a higher refueling rate plus service fees. Also be careful with electric vehicles. Charging rules, return battery percentage, charging stations, cables, and idle fees can create confusion if you are not prepared. If it is your first Europe road trip, a normal fuel car may be simpler unless you understand the charging network where you are going. Another big mistake is not checking cross-border rules. Europe makes it feel easy to move between countries, but rental cars are not always that simple. If you rent in Germany and drive to Austria, Switzerland, France, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, or another country, you may need permission from the rental company. Some countries may require extra fees, documents, vignettes, toll stickers, or restrictions. Some rental agreements may limit where you can drive. Some insurance coverage may change when crossing borders. Do not assume because there is no big border checkpoint that your rental agreement allows it. Ask before booking and get it in writing. Also check one-way rental fees. Picking up in one country and dropping off in another can be very expensive. Sometimes the car price looks normal until the international drop-off fee appears. Next, think about tolls, traffic zones, and city restrictions. Europe has toll roads, congestion zones, low-emission zones, speed cameras, bus lanes, restricted historic centers, and parking rules that can catch tourists. The rental company may charge an admin fee for each fine they process, on top of the actual fine. This is not exactly insurance, but it is part of the real cost of renting a car. Before you drive into a city, check whether cars are allowed, where you can park, and whether there are emissions requirements. In many European cities, a rental car is more of a burden than a benefit. Trains are often easier between major cities, and cars are most useful for rural areas, small villages, countryside routes, national parks, or places with weak public transport. Do not rent a car just because it feels like freedom. Rent it because it actually helps your itinerary. Now let's go back to credit card coverage because this is the heart of the video. The card you use matters. If you have multiple credit cards, do not randomly pick one at the counter. Use the card with the strongest rental car benefits, no foreign transaction fee, enough available credit, and wide acceptance. Make sure the entire rental is paid with that card if your benefit requires it. If you use points, coupons, partial payments, or a third-party booking, check whether the benefit still applies. Some card benefits require the full rental cost to be charged to the card, while taxes, fees, or rewards bookings can create details you should understand. Also, if there are multiple drivers, make sure additional drivers are officially added to the rental contract. If your spouse, friend, or family member drives but is not listed, insurance and coverage can become a problem. Paying a small additional driver fee can be much cheaper than having a claim denied because the wrong person was driving. Another detail tourists miss is liability insurance. Credit card rental coverage often focuses on damage or theft of the rental vehicle. It may not cover injury to other people, damage to other vehicles, or liability claims. In many countries, mandatory liability coverage may be included in the rental, but you need to understand what is included and whether the limits are enough. Do not assume collision coverage and liability coverage are the same thing. They are not. If you hit a wall, that is one type of issue. If you injure someone or damage another car, that can be a different category. Again, this is why the cheapest online price is not the whole story. You are not just renting a car. You are accepting a contract, a deposit, a damage policy, and a set of rules. Here is a simple way to decide what to do. If you are renting a basic car for a short trip in a country your credit card clearly covers, and you have a strong primary rental car benefit, you may choose to decline extra rental company coverage and rely on your card. If you are renting in a country your card excludes, driving in a high-risk area, renting an expensive vehicle, worried about claims, or you cannot afford a large temporary charge, then paying to reduce the excess may be smart. If you buy third-party insurance, understand that it may reimburse you later, not stop the rental company from charging you first. If you buy the rental company's zero excess package, it may cost more, but it may reduce stress at pickup and return. There is no one perfect answer for every traveler. The mistake is not choosing one option or the other. The mistake is choosing without understanding what you are accepting. Now, before your Europe trip, do these steps. First, decide if you actually need a car. If trains and public transport are easier, skip the car. Second, compare the real price, not just the daily rate. Include insurance, excess, deposits, fuel, tolls, parking, one-way fees, cross-border fees, and foreign transaction fees. Third, call your credit card company and confirm coverage for the exact country and vehicle type. Fourth, ask for a coverage letter if you plan to decline the rental company's CDW. Fifth, check your credit limit and available credit before flying. Sixth, read the rental terms before booking, especially deposit, excess, fuel policy, mileage, border rules, and damage exclusions. Seventh, use the right credit card at pickup. Eighth, film the car before and after. Ninth, keep every receipt, agreement, photo, and email until all holds and charges are cleared. This may sound like a lot, but it is much easier than fighting a surprise charge from another country after your trip. Let me give you the simple version. A cheap rental car in Europe can become expensive because of three things: insurance confusion, deposit holds, and damage disputes. You beat insurance confusion by checking your credit card coverage before the trip. You beat deposit holds by using a credit card with enough available credit, not a debit card tied to your cash. You beat damage disputes by recording the car at pickup and return. That is the system. And once you know the system, the rental counter becomes less intimidating. You can listen to what the agent says, compare it with what you already know, and make a calmer decision. You are not just reacting to pressure, you are following a plan. So before you rent a car in Europe, do not just ask, is rental car insurance included? Ask, what is my excess? What is excluded? What does my credit card actually cover? What happens if there is damage? How much can they hold on my card? What documents would I need for a claim? And do I really need this car for my route? Those questions can save you money, but more importantly, they can save your trip from stress. Because the worst time to learn about rental car insurance is after you hear a scratch, see a dent, or open your credit card app and find a charge you did not expect. Your credit card can be a powerful travel tool, but only if you understand the rules before you use it. Europe is already expensive enough. Do not let one rental car insurance mistake turn a cheap booking into a $1,000 lesson.